Well, we made it. Just a little bit slow.
Well, I hope you got that. That was, sound is unbearable, yeah.
All right. Where do you want to start?
Well, yeah, let me, I'd like to go over that again then, since you probably couldn't hear and understand what I was saying. This picture was from us in Victoria yesterday. We were at this mile zero signpost for the Trans-Canada Highway, and we had our friends take our picture in front of it. Then we walked on and saw the other side of the sign was so much better. That was the real sign, but our friends had walked on. We didn't want to bring them back to take our picture again. So I figured I would use a technique I know to copy us and paste it onto that picture, so that there we were on that picture. And I want to show you how to do that. And it's on the Samsung. There we go. It's just on Samsung Gallery, that one there. This is something Google Photos cannot do yet. So I open up the picture of Jim and me on the bad side of the sign, and you don't even have to go into edit. All you do is lightly touch and hold on us, and notice, touch and hold until we get highlighted and copy appears. Now I go to the good picture of the sign and touch and hold until I get paste. Voila! There we are, and I can just move it until it looks more natural and save. Now we have us on the good side of the sign. And if you don't have a Samsung, this is possible on an iPhone. It's a couple more steps, but I taught how to do this in video 830. So if you go to geeksontour.com/830, you will learn more about this technique, including how to do it on the iPhone Apple Photos.
Okay.
Okay.
You sure?
Yep.
No, you're not. Hi, everyone. I'm Jim, and together with my wife, Chris, we are Geeks on Tour. Do you think your smartphone is smarter than you? And do you have questions about your technology or anything to do with travel and these kinds of things? And how do you learn about these amazing devices?
Well, we are geeks, also known as propeller heads, but we are geeks who teach, so we come up with topics for this YouTube show every couple of weeks. And all of our content is collected on our website, geeksontour.com.
Okay, so Chris, where are we now?
Well, actually, we're just at sea, but we will be pulling into Vancouver sometime tonight or tomorrow morning. And since our last show, since we saw you guys last when we were in San Diego, we've been to Catalina Island, San Francisco, Seattle, and Victoria, BC, Canada, and all of those were great. And we have bunches of photos. If you go to that geeksontour.com cruising, you'll see a link to our photo album and you can check it out.
Okay. Well, we want to thank our premium members. You guys are the ones that make all of this possible. And I see quite a few of you out there now. And if you want to become a premium member, there are a lot of good benefits. Just go to geeksontour.com and /join now.
One of those benefits is our backstage pass. After this show, we will have a Zoom, a private meeting for our members only. You should have received a link in the email, about an hour ago.
Okay. And that's the backstage pass.
Do you want to say hi to some people or no?
Yeah, that's kind of tough. But good to see Debbie Diver over there. Erica. Okay, Detlef says we should start fresh. Nah, we're not going to do that.
Well, we did, kind of.
All the important stuff anyway. All right. Murray thinks that, what does he say there? I think you can do the same thing with iPhoto.
Yes, and in that video, 8:30, I show how to do it on the iPhone.
Yeah, but Kay still says, so cool, Samsung and Android rules.
It is easiest. It is so easy on the Samsung Gallery. Blows me away.
Yep. Okay. Travel Tales.
Okay, so for our travel tale today, we want to tell you about driverless cars. As in San Francisco, we knew that there was Waymo, so rather than taking Uber, we decided to take a Waymo. And it's available in Los Angeles, Phoenix, San Francisco, Atlanta, and Austin. Self-driving cars. And how it works is very similar to Uber. I mean, you got the app, right?
Yes, I got the app on my phone, and I was the one that did all of that, because she's the one that does all the stuff with Uber.
So it's just the Waymo One app, and you get it the same way you get any other apps, and you ask for where you're going to go and tell it you want to ride, and we'll show you a video. And then how much did it cost? It's a little bit more than Uber, but you don't have to tip a self-driving car.
Good point.
So we recorded 8 minutes of actually riding in the car, and we want to show you that. Yeah, what else should geeks do in San Francisco but go for a ride in a geeky car? We look at the license plate and it matches what it says on the app. Now, there's nobody to talk to. You can get in the front, yeah. Good afternoon, Jim. Start ride. I'll wait until you're in. Or I'll let you press the button. There's one on the dash there, yeah.
Hello from Waymo. As we get going, just give us 1 minute to cover a few riding tips. This experience may feel futuristic, but the need to buckle up is the same as always. So keep your seatbelt fastened unless there's an urgent need to raise it. Rider support will connect with you and provide assistance.
There.
Finally, relax and thank you for riding with us.
Pretty bizarre.
And it don't get any geekier than this.
No. It knows to stop at red lights. I must be, connected to the system? To the red light, green light system?
I don't think so. I think it just.
You think it's visual?
Yes.
Huh. I'll have to learn a little bit about this. Oh, it even started to go before it's... Okay, now it's green. how it goes. And don't hit the skate. What do you call those things? Scooters?
I don't know what that one is. Don't hit the Tesla either.
Red light. And it's very quiet. I think that's why the music sounds so nice. Doesn't have to compete with engine noise. Whoa, it thought that, and that person did look like it was going to turn in front of us. Made a hard stop. Oh, I'm going through a yellow light.
Arrive at your drop-off.
What do you think? I mean, I know it's been less than 15 minutes, but it's comfortable, isn't it?
Very comfortable. It's very, it's not weird at all. I mean, it's weird that there's nobody driving it,
but it's nice.
It's
I mean,
nice.
This is just our private car, but we don't have to drive.
This is how it should be.
Yeah. And it's, at least in our short experience, been very dependable on the doing the right thing in the traffic. And if they were all self-driving cars, then they'd even be communicating with each other in advance. You know, no having to step on the brakes quick when it looks like somebody's pulling in front of you.
And there wouldn't be all these cars on the side of the road.
Really,
Just parked.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Nice shot of the bridge.
For your safety, the doors will remain locked when we arrive. Pull the handle twice to exit. The first pull unlocks, the second opens the door. Don't forget your phone, keys, or wallet. There are more drop-off options in the app.
Oh, look at that little go-car. GPS guided tour. Isn't that a pretty building? Wow. Ooh.
Yeah.
For your safety, the doors will remain locked when we arrive. Pull the handle twice to exit. The first pull unlocks, the second opens the door. Vehicle approaching.
Whoops. We're back.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
darn. Because the very end of it. Anyway, that's a little bit longer than most of our videos are, but we felt we wanted to give you the feel. And yeah, when we walked away, then it just waited a minute and it took off again.
Without doing anything. It's just really crazy.
And just like Uber, it was paid automatically from from the app.
Okay, Debbie says that Jimmy Kimmel has his Aunt Chippy ran a self-driving taxi. It's hilarious.
That sounds like fun. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah. I don't see any questions. I think, let's see.
Honey says her Tesla does the same thing and she loves it. So you get used to not needing a driver.
But somebody's probably in the driver's seat when you're in your Tesla, right, honey?
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. All right, so it is cool. So, all right.
So next, our tech tip is about using a password manager. You may have heard about the massive data breach that happened a week or two ago.
A week or two ago?
2 or 3 weeks ago.
It was, I don't know.
It was a while ago, but it was big news. It was the biggest breach ever, and you may have gotten some messages that you're supposed to change your password and just change a lot of passwords and pay more attention. A password manager will help. It will help keep the bad guys out by increasing security because of having a password manager, you will use more complex passwords and you won't use the same password for different sites. It's remembering all of them for you so you can have a different one for every site, and it keeps everything encrypted. In addition to increasing security, it makes it more convenient for you to get into your accounts. You only need to remember one master password. It fills in the passwords for you automatically, and you can share passwords securely. So all the sites that Jim and I have accounts together on, there's just one set of passwords in the LastPass Family Manager, and we both use them. So why don't you have a password manager? Probably because you think it's going to be a lot of work to set up. Well, it is a little bit of work, this is true, but it may be easier than you think. Now, I'm going to show you with a little video about how LastPass works. Is LastPass a good choice? Yes, but you may have heard that it had a breach. In 2021, it had a security breach, and that's bad, and a lot of people say don't use LastPass. We've been using it since before the breach. We were not affected. There hasn't been any problem since, and they have amped up their security. You know, a company that has been breached might be the most secure now, it seems to me. So we still like LastPass. But if you don't want to use LastPass, our recommendation is 1Password. They both work approximately the same. Here's the video on how to get started. Hi, this is Chris Gould with Geeks on Tour, and I want to show you how you get started with LastPass. There's 2 things you need to do. Number 1, you need to sign up for an account. And number 2, you need to install the browser extension. Let me show you how. Go to the website lastpass.com, then click the button to get free LastPass. Now you'll have to enter your email and create your master password. Your master password must be strong. It's important, but it's also important that it's something you can remember. From now on, it's the only password you will need to remember. You can enter a hint to help you remember what it is, and then you click the red sign up for free button. Next is to install the browser extension. You can click on Install LastPass or it will go there automatically. Click Add to Chrome, then Add Extension. When it's done, you will see the 3-dot LastPass icon in the upper right. It may also be under this little puzzle piece icon. That is your Chrome extensions. You'd still need to log in then to the extension. So here is where you need to remember the email address you used and your master password. This is where you're logging in to the extension. When it is logged in, it is active. When you look at your extensions, you'll see the icon has turned red. Now LastPass is working for you on your Chrome. Now that you've signed up for an account and you've installed the browser extension, it's time to start filling in your passwords. LastPass can do that for you automatically just when you first visit your sites. So here we are at a site that we can sign in, fill in your name and password, and sign in. LastPass will offer to save that password so you never have to remember it again. Just click Add. Let's do one more, just to see that this happens automatically. Just as you go through your daily work and you log into places, they will start building your password list in LastPass. So here we are at PicMonkey. Log in, fill in your username and password and log in, and LastPass offers to add it to your list. You'll never have to remember that password again. Let's see how it looks then when you go back the next time to log into some place that LastPass has. So here we are back at Walgreens and I need to sign in. Just click on Sign In and boom, LastPass has filled in the email and the password. All you have to do is click Sign In. You're done. So that's it. You sign up for an account, install the browser extension, add your existing passwords, and then if you want, you can add the mobile app to your mobile devices and use LastPass there. We'll have another video on that.
Okay.
And I see a lot of you watching today are using password managers. Good for you. Most people I talk to, just walking around, not a clue. But it is a little bit of work, but it is so, so worth it. You will wonder how you ever lived without the password manager remembering everything.
And Debbie says she uses Google Passwords there, and that's a browser-based password manager.
Right. And it's pretty good. It's gotten better over the years, but the reason that I don't use Google Passwords is because that's all it does is passwords. And as you'll see in a little bit, I like to keep my passport information and my PINs for my credit cards and a bunch of other stuff that should be secret but is very important. I keep all those things in LastPass as well, and you can't do that with Google Passwords.
Murray uses Bitwarden. That's another good one that's been around a long time.
I've heard good things about Bitwarden.
Yeah.
I'm happy to see several people saying that they still use LastPass and have had no problems.
Judy wants to know if you can import a group of passwords from a spreadsheet.
I believe so. I haven't actually done that. Good question, Judy.
We'll have to look into that.
I know that when you export, yeah, you must be able to, because if you export your passwords, they're in CSV format, and you can then import them again. So yeah. I'm 95% sure the answer is yes.
All right. So, but yeah, changing your passwords. And when they tell you that you need to change your passwords, should you do it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you should do it without being told to.
On a regular basis.
On a fairly, at least your most important ones, like your email and maybe your bank. And if you are keeping passwords on a handwritten little black book, then what happens when you go change a password. You have things scratched out and rewritten, scratched out and entered again in another place. There's how we do it. Because we use LastPass and we pay for it, not much, but we pay for it, what's called the family version. Then we have folders of passwords that we both share. And I will go in and I will change a password. LastPass sees that I changed the password and asks, do you want me to update it in your LastPass? I say yes. I don't even have to tell him that I changed the password. Next time he goes to log in to that place, his LastPass knows that I changed the password and it fills it in with the new password. So,
Okay.
is that handy or what?
Kay uses Keeper. Yeah.
Any password manager is better than nothing because you can have long secure passwords and a different one for every site. Those are the two most important things for passwords.
RoboForm's been around forever. Yeah.
Yep,
So.
yep.
Yeah,
It's a good
and
one.
it'll keep a lot of other secure information in there.
Yeah, Linda says she keeps a lot of other secure
Okay.
information.
Michael uses NordPass.
That's good.
And Stephen Parker says, I've used LastPass a long time. Proton Pass, that's a backup, and that's also free, I believe. Yeah.
Ah, Debbie, excellent point here. And that is, yes, you designate a person that can have access to your whole account if you are inactive. If you pass on or something.
Yeah. Bob wants to know, does it interface with two-level security?
Well, it doesn't fill in the second level. You know, that has to come from your phone. But yes, it supports two-factor authentication, the two-level security. In fact, it has an authenticator. There is a LastPass authenticator that's a partner app that will give you the codes for the two-factor authentication.
Okay.
Okay, how much does it cost? There is a free version. So, I mean, a completely free version. You never have to pay for it. However, that only lets you use it on computer or mobile, not both. So I think that's kind of worthless. I think you have to pay at least for the premium. And the families is only $4 a month, and that gives you up to 6 users. So basically, Jim and I are paying $2 a month for that service. It is so worth it.
Not bad at all.
And not just for passwords. It has this thing called Secure Notes. So you can go in there and write anything you want. You know, like your grandmother's birthday because you use that somewhere, or your grandmother's combination to her lock on something because you know that she keeps forgetting, so you have it stored. You know, anything you want, just a secure note. Addresses for auto-filling forms, payment cards, credit cards. You know, when you buy something at an online store, they will offer to save your credit card information. I've been known to do that, certainly, but I really would prefer not to, because that's how your stuff gets stolen. Somebody hacks into that store's database.
Right.
So if you put it in LastPass, it will still be there and fill it in for you, but you've only put it out there in one place in your LastPass, fully encrypted, secure. Bank accounts. Sometimes you need to know your routing numbers and your account numbers. Passports. You can even take a photo of your passport and have LastPass store that. So I say there's 7 benefits of a password manager. 1, you only have to remember one password. You can do that.
Yeah, all the password managers, that's the way they work.
It will generate random, long, secure passwords for you, so you don't have to sign up for a new account and say, okay, what password am I going to use this time? You can easily change your passwords and have them updated in LastPass. You can share passwords securely. You can store more than just passwords. And you can use the same password manager across multiple devices. We will show you that. You can set up family shared folders of passwords and secure notes. Okay.
All right, some other things out there. Let's see, Murray says Proton Pass has a free version and uses it as a backup to Bitwarden. That's a good point. That should be pretty good. Okay.
So you have a backup password manager. You have two password managers. I started to do that, and then the more I thought about it, I didn't want, no. I wanted it all in one basket, and then watch that one basket very closely.
Okay, Murray says all his devices are handled with Bitwarden. And let's see, Proton Pass works with PCs and phone, comes in useful with LastPass. And
Okay.
I love the way
The Waymo ride.
Yeah. Oh, somebody asked how do you open the trunk, and it's done with the app.
In the app. There you go. Yeah.
It'll pop the trunk for you, and
Everything is app.
everything is on the app. Pretty cool.
And there's even a, I need support button on the app, right?
Right.
And
Right. That's and there's a button that says pull over, and if there's an issue or
if you decide you've changed your mind, you don't want to go there anymore.
yeah, or you want to get out here, you see something cool, yeah, they'll do that too. So way more. All right.
Okay, so I said that it will generate secure passwords. I just want to show you that. So I'm going to take you to our imaginary friend Alice, and she has signed up for a LastPass free account, and now she's going to Flickr and she wants to create an account. So she'd have to fill in her name and her age and her email address. But when it comes to password, all she has to do is click on the little password LastPass icon, and notice that it comes up with a long, very secure password. You just copy that and put it in, and now you have set up, and when she finishes signing up, that password will be remembered in LastPass. She doesn't need to know what it is. So that's how it creates the secure passwords for you, just right there on the fly. Now, using on mobile devices. I mean, we're using our phones more than our computers these days, right? So it doesn't do you any good if you don't have it on your phone. Here's another video. Hi, this is Chris Gould with Geeks on Tour, and this tutorial video is about using the LastPass password manager on mobile devices, both Android and Apple. First, I'm going to show you on an Android phone and then on an Apple. I'm assuming that you already have a LastPass account and know your master password. If not, that's a previous video. So on a phone, what you need is the app. On an Android, you would get the app from the Play Store. And make sure you're on Apps and search for LastPass. And there it is. I already have it installed. It is free. You would just install it. So let me go back to my home screen and find it. So there is the LastPass app. Now I'm going to make sure that I'm logged in too. So I open up LastPass and I enter my master password and confirm. So LastPass is on the phone and it is signed in. So now here's how it works when you want to go use an app. I'm going to use one of my travel apps, this one called Togo. And I do have an ID. I will tap sign in with your ID. And when I tap on the email address, LastPass pops up and shows me my Togo ID. All I have to do is tap there. It has filled it in for me, and I can sign in. Pretty easy, right? On the iPhone, it's pretty much the same. You would get the LastPass app from your app store, tap search, look for LastPass, and I already have it installed, so I'm going to go back, and there it is right there. And it has the option of using Touch ID to unlock, so I don't even have to enter my password if I have turned on the Touch ID when I install it. So all I have to do is put my fingerprint on there. I am now in LastPass. It is logged in. So let's see how it works when I want to open an app. I'm going to use that same app I did on my Android, the one called Togo, and I tap on it, sign in, and it doesn't get auto-filled, but if I tap on it, instead of typing, I am offered log into Runs with Togo using LastPass. Sure. Touch ID, and I'm done. So LastPass still made it very simple. Now, not all of them will work that simply. Let me show you Flickr. And when the login form comes up, I'm not offered the LastPass. I don't know why. So if that happens, you can always, though, just go to your LastPass app, open it up, and find the Flickr account and tap on it. Now I can copy the username and copy the password and go back. So I'm copying the username, I go back to Flickr, and I paste. Next, I need the password, so I'll go back to LastPass, open up the Flickr, copy password, back to Flickr, and paste. And now I can sign in. So that's like worst case scenario. When things don't happen automatically, you can always go to your LastPass app, find the username and password, and copy them. Now, if I had been paying closer attention at that point, I would have noticed that when it came time for the password, LastPass was showing up right above the keyboard here. But if I just tap on it, I'm getting the Got Guest account password. But if I tap on the little key, it pops up all the information from LastPass. It shows that I have 2 accounts with Flickr, and I can choose the password for the one I want, use Touch ID to confirm, and then I could have signed in. And that is using LastPass on mobile devices.
Okay. Very cool. Where are you?
Well, looks like. So just a little bit more about families and shared folders. This is how it works in LastPass. I assume it's similar in 1Password and the others. You set up shared folders in the sharing center, and then you go to them in the vault. That's what your whole LastPass account is called, is a vault. And you put items in the shared folders. That's all. If a password or a secured note or a passport is in a shared folder, whoever you are sharing it with, like in my case, Jim and I, they automatically have that. And it's a copy. That was an interesting thing. I had a big scare yesterday. I went to my LastPass and it was empty. It was empty.
Yeah.
And I just freaked out. I thought, that I had gotten hacked, and I asked Jim to look at his shared folders, and everything was still there. Phew. But then, it took 10 or 15 minutes, and all of mine was back. So it was some kind of internet syncing issue,
Glitch.
no problem. But I immediately exported all of my data onto a local hard drive. I see that somebody else, does that. All right, so shared folders, but is a copy. That's a good thing to know. So if you lose yours, whoever you have the shared folders with should still have it.
All right, there are a couple of things up here. Let's see. Honey says she uses biometrics to open LastPass on the phone. It's great. Yeah,
Isn't
just
it,
a
though?
thumbprint or a fingerprint or some kind of facial recognition. Those are really, really good. Yeah. Many people who use 2-password apps do so in case one password manager is hacked or compromised, the other one remains unaffected. That's true, and you can make the changes from the other one.
Well, as long as you pay attention to both of them. I mean, if you just have it as a backup that you never look at, you might not be aware that the second one has. I don't know. I mean, I get that, but I choose not to.
Michael exports his password manager's content to a secure drive locally. Yes,
Absolutely.
We have external hard drives handy, and that's where those go. Perfect. All right, move along. Wow, that's pretty cool.
We're done a little bit early.
That's a good thing.
Earlier than normal. Although I say that this is our anniversary of our episode number 1 in 2014. That was only a half hour long.
That's right.
So we keep sneaking up, and we're generally.
Who does that?
We generally go 1 hour now, but I am trying to make it more like 45 minutes. So we're close here.
Murray says sometimes you'll have more than one password for an account, usually saved at different dates. It's a good idea to look through your saved passwords and delete the old ones if they do. Yeah, that's great. And yeah, cool stuff. Did you learn something? I did. True or false? When you use a password manager, you only need to remember one password. That's the master password.
Yes, that is true.
That's what makes them so good. True or false? Password managers are easy and automatic.
Well, they take a little bit of work, but they might be easier than most people think. They do automatically notice when you're filling in passwords and saves them. So
it's better than using the same password everywhere you go.
Absolutely.
True or false? LastPass is the only good password manager.
No, false.
False.
There's
false.
a bunch of them. Our second recommendation is 1Password. I noted nobody said that they use 1Password.
Huh.
So there were a lot of password managers mentioned in the comments here. Yes, there's lots of them.
Which password manager can store your passport information? A, LastPass. B, Google Password Manager.
Google Password Manager cannot. It is just for passwords. So that's one big reason why I like LastPass over Google.
And in LastPass, if you want to store info like your mother's maiden name, your first grade teacher, your favorite food, you would create A, keyword, B, secure note, C, vault, or D, envelope.
B, a secure note. Anything you want can go into a secure note.
And the $4 a month family plan can be used by how many people?
6.
That's a lot.
So that's literally pennies a month per person.
Yeah, and everybody has a piece of it, so it's great. And John says she always dates her passwords. That's a good idea. All right. Other questions? You can write them in the chat. Give us a thumbs up. And subscribe to this YouTube channel. It's really helps us out. Okay. We're going to be in the backstage in just a few minutes, but I want to remind you to sign up for our free newsletters. Chris writes these newsletters and puts them out there. You can click on that QR code with your phone and sign up right there, or go to geeksontour.com/news. And yeah, That's a great thing to have. Go ahead and subscribe. Make sure you click on the bell to get notified when we go live or when anything happens like that. It's a good thing to do, and we appreciate it.
Whoa, what did okay.
Keep pushing those buttons.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, what's the web page that lists all of our YouTube shows?
geeksontour.com, and the menu item is YouTube shows.
How about that? And the web page lists all of our recent newsletters.
geeksontour.com, and the menu item is blogs and news. You'll find all the newsletters back through 2007 every month.
Yeah, how about the web page that lists all of our cruising information?
Ah, that needs to go on here.
That does need to go on there.
Yeah, that's geeksontour.com/cruising.
And we would like you to see you there.
Yeah.
All right, why do people pay $58 a year to join Geeks on Tour?
There's lots of member benefits. The Backstage Pass, private Zoom meetings, asking us any questions, written notes of these shows, and the top tips. I think my top tips are really, they kind of compile everything. So rather than you searching through the whole website, if you go to the top tips, you'll find just what you're looking for, and that is for members only. But some people become a member and pay us some money just to say thank you for all the stuff we do for free.
And you can join Geeks on Tour premium membership at geeksontour.com/join now. Karen says thank you, very timely. She's considering using a password manager. I think she should do that. Wow, what's going on?
Yeah,
We're bumping around a little bit on the boat. Okay, that's it for us on here. We're on the ship.
And we'll be in the Backstage Pass Zoom meeting in just a few minutes.
What if I don't remember your master password?
URSOL.
Yeah.
You
Have that written down somewhere safe.
Yeah.
Have it saved.
You
Don't forget.
Good question, Richard.
Tell somebody else. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell an important person.
You need to remember that master password. LastPass cannot see it.
Yep. Okay, that's it for this week. We're going to go sailing. We're going to be in Vancouver tomorrow. That should be a lot of fun. And we'll see you next time. Is that it? Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
How do you work this thing? What does this button do? All right. How about that?
Well, yeah. Yeah, Murray, true. And you're right, LastPass has recovery methods as well. But you have to set them up, yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? That'll do it. My password and stuffed it into a sock. I like that.